Hi there, and welcome back to Simon Outdoors. Thank you for joining me on this video on how I carve a spatula. Now, if you're watching the long version, welcome back to part 3, but hopefully it'll all be edited into one film for you. We'll try out the new software that I've uploaded to my phone, thanks to English Woodsman who recommended it. Not looked at it at all yet, I've just downloaded it. So when I get home will be the first go at trying to stick the films together, how many there is. But if you're watching the short version or the editing doesn't work, this will be the only version. So I'm gonna just listen to that. That's my view. Here's where I'm sitting. I've decided, because ideally I need a chopping block for this. You don't have to, you can chop onto another piece of birch. But this is my view. This is what I'm going to be looking at while I'm also looking at you guys and girls. So, lovely little spot. I've been and selected a piece of silver birch in an area that needed coppicing because the other trees would struggle to grow. So, let's get us set up now. To the camera. I'll get set down and I'll see what that looks like. Oh, pretty good, I think. Yeah, pretty good there. Just hope that my phone doesn't fall in the river, otherwise I'll be gutted. That would be it of Simon Outdoors. That's all it would take, you know, because I've got no job, so no money. It's actually nearly 1:15. I've only just got out. I got in. I didn't. Some days when it's nice and sunny, I don't feel that motivated to get out really. You know, you got perfect weather, and then you just got. Do you know what? I don't feel like it. So it's all right. I just got boots full of leaf litter. That's not going to hurt me. So. It is good to be out. So let's get cracking. So yeah, I brought a frying pan with me today. I've actually borrowed this one. This is my wife's pan that's used for making omelettes, but it's a very nice little camping pan. I didn't think it cost that much, but when we went to look at again at Asda, which is where I thought we bought this from, they didn't have them anymore. This would be perfect if it had an all metal handle, but it works all right on the gas stove. But anyway, enough about frying pans. What I've got with me as well is my Laplander. I've got my knife, I'll just get that out in a minute, but I might not use that. And my axe. So, I'm just going to shuffle back a minute actually. That's better. Okay, so I've got a nice bit of silver birch here. What I might do first is cut this down to a lower section. Now, I did measure this out with my Laplander, so when I undid my Laplander it measured half. So let's cut it in half. Let's make a long spatula. Normally I've had a spatula as big as that, whatever that is. But you can see there again, so we're going to cut here. Bear in mind I'm not cutting over my leg because that would be really stupid. I have seen people do that, people who should know better. People with all the gear and no idea. They had those foul raven trousers on, they had the heli knife and all, like I say. And I said, hey, you're going to cut your leg there? Oh no, it's alright. Kept on sawing. He didn't cut his leg, but he saw through his trousers. Bad form. So another way to do this is to hold it onto the chopping block. top of the chopping block's very green and slimy. But I'm not worried about that, because when it comes to the end of the spatula, I can just trim it off afterwards, and then there'll be no badness on the spatula. So the next tool I'm going to use is my little wetlands axe. So I'll bring my legs a bit more out of the way now. And I'm going to trim down the side. Okay, so I've got one quite nice flat side there, you can see already. So what I need to do now is do the opposite. So basically I've made myself a flat board out of a round log. Now I notice I've got a knot that runs through here. So what I can do is, because I've cut myself a decent length, is I can bring this spatula up and probably cut the spatula off where that knot is there. So now I've done one end, and you can see I've got myself a bit of a board going on there. Just looking at some more knots in the wood and deciding where I want to go next. So you see there's a bit of dead knot there. This is the knot at the lower end, and there again, there. Don't worry that this is looking a bit dirty. I'm going to trim the sides next. As soon as I've done that, I'll clean my hands with some wet wipes, and then I won't be greening up any more of the timber. Now some people, when you get to this stage, may use a pencil to draw the shape of the spatula they want and the handle. I've never done this. I might do it if I was doing a fancy carving, but I can see it in the wood. It's from doing woodwork many years, it's just a thing that I've been able to do, you know, being a joiner by trade. So I think I'll thin this down a little bit more yet. While I've got it longer, it's going to be easier to work. And I'll take the sides off now, so we get rid of that green, so we're not going to keep staining our hands. Now I do the same at the top, because there's no good doing just the bottom where I'm working and then touching anything dirty at this end, because I'm going to transfer that. Okay, so I've got this clean now. Fresh bag of baby wipes. No, I'm not sponsored by Pampers neither. If I was using dry wood, seasoned wood, I wouldn't have to worry about this. I'd be able to sand it out. As this is green wood, I've got to treat this a different way, and I'll tell you about that in a minute when we get our spatula out of this piece of wood. Okay, so now I've cleaned up my hands, we're going to thin this down some more. It doesn't matter if we're not producing a perfectly piece of straight timber, because we're making a handcrafted spatula, so it's, you know, it's got a bit of character to it. That's the word I'm looking for, character. We can chop this perfectly straight. Okay, so now I'm going to aim for the bottom of the spatula, the actual bit we're going to use to flip stuff with. I'm going to start to taper it down at an angle, rather than trimming it flat like I've been doing now, as you can see. I hope you can see that alright from there. Save me going up and down all the time. But yeah, so now I'm going to go for that wedge shape, like my axe. Now I brought my little Mora carving knife with me, as I've not sharpened up my main bushcraft knife, my Koodman one, for a while now. Right, so you can see it's sort of wedge shaped now. So what I'm going to start doing is start carving out the handle. So I can place it on the wood and chop it sideways. So I'll think about my start of the spatula might start about here. So I'll take about 2 inches off, the blade, the flat part, the blade paddle, whatever you want to call it, or the spatula, could be 3 to 4 inches long, and then handle probably finishing up about here where there's this bit of black knot on this side. So if I have the blade about as long as my axe, place my axe on here, roughly mark it with my eye, and then handle up to about here. So I'm going to hold it this way now and start to cut into the wood. Then swap over. It's trying to perch it on here with it being so green. If I bruise it up a bit, I might be able to stick that corner in there. Okay, you can see we've got a bit of a shape coming now. I was debating whether to have the handle come in and then out again, but for a basic one I'll just show you a straight handle. Right, now we've got the basic shape out, I'm happy to stop now with the axe and start work with the carving knife. This is my little Mora, the 120. Oh. Get this clothes out of the way so I feel more comfortable. I'm putting both hands tight into my chest and I'm carving like this. A bit like I'm doing a chicken impression. But that means that if I was carving here and I slip, my hand's going to go anywhere, you know, and wobble about a bit. But if they're tight into my chest, they're not going to go very far. You can see I'm still working on that wedge shape. What I'm doing now is smoothing off these flats either side. I've also tidied up the sides. It's getting quite thin now. So what I'm doing now, as you can see, I'll come closer to the camera. This is what the spatula is looking like at the minute. See, I've thinned it out there. Now what I'm doing is cutting that away. Notice it's green on the end. Like I said, we don't want that. Come from the other side. And we can tidy this up in a minute. So we'll carry on working. We'll get this squared off in a minute. Then we can work on that tip there looking better. Tidy up this where you can see the chop marks from the axe. And then we start on the handle, cut it off, and we'll go on to the next bit. Oh dear. It's lovely listening to the sound of the river. So where it comes in here as well and tapers in for the handle, I want to try and keep them the same. Almost like making feather sticks, if you can see there. Then come back towards yourself and just clean that out. Can you see the spatula taking shape now? Got a bit of a big knot up here which is stopping the little knife going through. So what I'm going to do now, put the knife in its sheath, keep it safe, no accidents, and get the saw out for this bit. I'm going to place the bit that I want cutting off onto the stump. There we go. Of course, I've only got the Laplander. I would love to try out some silkies. And if you're wondering what silkies are, they're a maker of very fine saws. Still quite thick this paddle is. Paddle? It's because I'm side of the river, I'm thinking about paddles. The one that I did carve into a paddle is now on my mantelpiece. Because I said to my wife I would like to have some of my wood carvings on display. And the more I come out here, the more I'm going to practice carving. Well, not just spatulas and spoons. I like doing the little faces on sticks. Yeah, it's looking better now. I'll come and give you another close-up. You've got your basic shape of your spatula. You could use this if you wanted to, and then you can take it from here and make it something fancier. Like I say, you could have had this tapered in and then come back out. If you leave a flat on the top, you can carve a pattern into there. You can even carve patterns into here if you want to. But this is your basic spatula. So I'm just going to tidy this up a bit more now. Now, with this being green wood, what I'll do next is I brought some cling film with me today. Now, I brought a bit on a roll and also some around me bread, because I'm going to have a bit of a cook up next. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cling film this when I've finished it and take it home and then coat it with walnut oil. You can use other food grade oils to protect the spoon. Protect the spatula. Right, so what I'm going to do, by covering it in cling film, I'm sealing any moisture in, because what it'll try and do straight away, the end grain, anywhere where the end grain is exposed, like here, it'll try and split. So something else you could do if you wanted to is wetting the spatula while you're working it. Today it's not very warm, so the wood's not going to dry out as fast as it could do on a summer's day if you was doing this. But my hands are very hot, so that is going to dry the wood and make it split. So carry on working this a little bit more. I'm taking that fine end down and leaving it probably about 1 millimetre to 1.5 millimeters, so I can really get under bacon, eggs, anything like that this might get used for. I won't be using it for eggs because I don't like them. Oh, I'm putting wood shavings in my boots now. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you that I'm the best wood carver in the world, because I'm not. There is lots of people out there who are far better at it than me, through they practice more, and I want to practice more. Now I live here. One guy I'd like to recommend for his outdoor videos and his wood carving. He does some cool little men. and I'd love to have one of his carvings. His name, or his channel, is Doug Outdoors. Doug? I'm sure it's something like that. Doug Outdoors. Yeah? I'll check that. I'll double check that, and I'll tell you on the next video. Dug out, it might be Dug Outside, something like that. He's been camping quite a few times with Joe Robnet, or Robbie Net. Yeah, that's another good channel for you. But yeah, for wood carving, check out Dug Outdoors or Dug Outside, it might be. I'm subscribed to him. I've been subscribed to him for months, ever since I seen him go out with Joe Robbie Net, because I didn't know of him until then. So, I'll show you what I'm doing now. Because I don't want all the flats on here, so I've got these edges here. I'm just taking those out. So, thanks for watching Simon Outdoors. I'm going to have to finish it here because the phone's probably going to cut out any second now, because it always stops after 4 gig of recording. So, I'll see you on the next one. If not, thanks for watching. Hello and welcome back. If you're here on the long version of the how to make a paddle, or how to make a spatula, then welcome back. Hopefully you are here and the editing software does work, otherwise this is going to be up in a right mess all over YouTube. So this is what I've got so far. Basically, I've near enough done. I'm going to get some cling film in a minute and wrap it to seal in the moisture. I could also wet it. I brought some water. Wet it, then wrap it up. That'll help it stop splitting as fast until I can get it home and get some food grade oil on it. This is a basic spatula. If you wanted to, you can have the other end of the handle taper out, carve something nice into there. You can carve something nice into here. But it's now 1:45. I want to get this sort of finished and then get some snap on. You can see there's a lot of mess here from all the carving. Basically, I know I've just made my fingers green now, but I've took this log and turned it into this spatula, because this came from this end here. More like that, I think. I'm going to finish off this tip here. In fact, the last time I made a spatula was the time I made my one shaped as a canoe paddle, and my mother-in-law just came round that day. I just got them in oil treated. And she said, "Oh, I could do with a spatula." I went, "Oh, take it then." So I still haven't replaced the one that I normally take camping. Now, I did make a nice spatula. I think it was the local group's Christmas party from last year, and like I said, I'd had it most of the year, and then I brought it home. I'd been using it on bacon. I brought it home and my little puppy was really interested in what's in Daddy's food bag. And then later on I found her with the sad face, like, I'm really sorry, Dad, you know. And then I found half of my spatula. And then later on I found the other half, and she chewed it. And I think it's because I wish I'd got home, or wish when I got home I'd got it straight into water and washed it. Then it wouldn't smell all nice like bacon, and she wouldn't have had it. Now I'm leaving this. I'm not going to sand this one up. I'm going to leave it rustic, because I can't remember what time I sat down here. Well, the film that I've just sat and carved it was about 33 minutes long, and that's about average. If I did this a lot more, I'd be a lot faster at it. But I remember last year, I think it was, when I did some spoons and spatulas, I sat down with a silver birch piece like these logs here, and I split one in half, and I made a spoon out of one half and a spatula out the other, and it took, for both of them, it took about 30 minutes each. So what I'm doing now, I'm just changing the shape a little bit, making it to what I want. And I'll show you in a sec when I sit up. When I come back to the camera, and I come back to you guys, I'll show you. So happy that I've got this beautiful spot, which is quite close to my house, to my family's house. I don't own the woodland, but it's nice to know that I can come here and enjoy it. I can enjoy moments like this, sitting beside the river, carving away. One of my first spoons when I was making it, well, the first spoon when I was making it, and I could see into the wood what I was going to make, and I was about halfway through it. My friends at the farm said it looked like a primitive club rather than a spoon, but it's okay, it's alright. I've given them a few of my wood carvings because they, you know, collect wood carvings, wooden spoons, things like that. So I'm almost finished with this. I'm almost happy with the result. Making sure there's no rough edges on it. Then I'll get some water put on this and wrap it up. Sound like a bit of a fox hunt. That or someone's squeaky brakes. I'm just tidying up now around this knot. I'll come and show you in a second. Oh, I just found the spun her over. Found some sides that need a bit of work. I'll come close, because I know everybody likes a close up, but obviously I'm not altering the camera angle or anything to do this. So you can see this bit of a flat area here and this axe mark, which is only just left. Just taking that out now. If I wanted to, if this was dry timber, I could sand this all up afterwards and get rid of all those marks. But it just shows that it's handmade, doesn't it? I'm happy with that now. I'm happy to use that as my spatula. So what I'm going to do now is wet that so that it doesn't dry out too fast. And take it home and then let it dry out slowly, and as it dries out I'll replace the water inside the wood with oil, and there I have a spatula. So I might just take this opportunity to take a photo. There we go, that's one for Instagram. We'll have another one while we're at it. There we go. Even get one with a bit of a selfie going on. So, you don't really need to see me put it in cling film and whatever, so I'm going to have my dinner now. But if you watch it long version, you can stay tuned. You always find just that little bit and you go a little bit more. Just tidy it up a little bit more. There we go, I'm happy with that now. So, I'll say I've brought some cling film, a spatula on my leg, I've got some water. I'm just going to wet the spatula. There we go. So the spatula's all nice and wet, and I'm going to wrap it up. Oop. From head to tail, and that will seal in all the moisture now, so this spatula won't dry out and crack. Could have probably added a drop more water into there, which I can do now, just by scraping into here, and then adding a drop of water in there. So that if it gets warm, that will seal it up now. When my wife says, "Where's all my cling film?" you all know where it's gone. So the water's in there, it's all in up the top there. Oh, it's dripping out a bit, but should work its way in. Let's wrap this up a bit more. It's the end of the roll. I've just bought her another roll yesterday because I knew I wanted to do this. Come out here and make this video. So we're near the end. There we go. might as well stick the last bit on. There we are, that's the last bit. So there's my spatula. I'll sort that out when I get home. Pop that in here. Knife away. So today we've got bread. We've got bacon grill. Got my kettle with me. Gas bottle. Bit of oil. Chopping board. So, right, I think just here I'll get the cooking on. Nearly pulled off the spark thing on it. I bought this off eBay last year. It cost about £6.50. Really good design, where they've got two screws holding it all together. The new ones, they've cheaped out on them a bit, and they've only got the one screw. Also, good thing about these, they've got their own igniter on them. So, oh, one of the legs have collapsed. There we go. Right, chopping board out. And then I want my mooring knife, which I use for food. So, look at that log's come in handy. I'll pack everything away when I go. Bit of oil in there. Make that sit a bit more level. Maybe bring some more of this soft ground back. Smelling very good. And I've actually just shuffled off the sheet a little bit too far, so I'm sat on the cold ground. So I'm just carefully pulling this out of the tin now. Look at that. Oh, I tell you, it smells fantastic. So there we go, that's that chopped up. I think last time I did it the other way, I chopped it the other way. So I clean my knife. I can definitely hear somebody on the other side of the river, or this side. So right, get this turned on. Hey, one way to lose a coat sleeve. Get that bit of baby white fluff out of there. Look at that, it's fantastic, isn't it? Probably add a bit more oil. Oh, I've just seen one black dog run out across the river. Well, this will cook a lot better than the fire pit will. Actually, if I spun the camera around, you wouldn't see much anyway. There's just one black dog running across, somebody's blowing a trumpet over there. But I love the fact about this one as well, compared to cooking with a Trangia, is that you can turn the flame down. You can open it right up or turn it down. So I can cook this a lot slower. It's going to splatter all over my leg though. I was just thinking I've not brought anything to flip it over with. What I have done, I've got a plastic fork here. So not the best thing to have for this sort of thing. You want, ideally, wood. Wood would be the best because you're not going to scratch the pan. If you use a metal fork or a titanium fork, you'd scratch the pan while you're moving it around. But with cooking this, we're more warming it up. You can eat this cold, but on a day like today, it'll be lovely, nice and warm between some slices of bread. And I were going to bring some sauce, but I thought no, too much. Now there's just one bloke walking down there looking at his phone, I think, blowing his trumpet. Quick dog. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's fantastic. Bacon grill. Better get some bread ready for that. See, I could have wrapped my spatula up in this, but I thought, you know, I'll bring some bread with me just in case. Oh, I can't believe think what I'm trying to say with him blowing that trumpet. That bugle. Get a little piece on it yet. Ooh, that pan's gonna go. Right, we'll chuck them other ones in there. There we go. Perfect, look at that, fantastic. And it'll taste even better than it looks. A lot better in frying pan than cooked over a fire. I've only seen the black one. He just ran in front of you. Oh, that black dog there? Oh right. I haven't now, unfortunately. I've only been here about half an hour. I've not seen him. Right. I'll keep an eye out for him. If I find one, who do I need to contact? Right. Okay. All right. If I find one roaming round, I'll get in contact with you. Thank you. So they've lost the dog. That's why he's blowing that trumpet. I wonder if the dog they've lost could be that one massive paw prints I've seen earlier on. This bacon grill, by the way, this one is from Sainsbury's. My wife bought me some the other day from Asda because it looks like Aldi has stopped doing it now. But yeah, I brought another can because this can's nearly run out, but obviously there's still... Oh, I've got it on full open now and it's almost gone, so yeah, it's on its way out. But I've got a second can, which is here, which you need a little adapter for these, because it's not a thread on them, which I've got. You can buy them off eBay for about £1.80. Yeah, I think this is about gone now. Well, that's how cold it is. For me, this is fantastic. I'm having a great time. I've just carved the spatula. I'm sat beside the river. There's a bloke walking around blowing a trumpet, bugle or whatever. I know it's got a special name. It's it's the foxhound caller thing. But I'm having a fantastic time. I know you might have switched off by now and thinking, oh, I'm not watching Simon just sat there enjoying his snap. But if you are, well, thank you. But basically, I'm just going to have this snap now, and then I'm going to get packed up and head back home. I probably could sit here and carve something else. I brought the timber with me. I might take it home and carve something. I don't know. I don't know yet. Just fold that over so it keeps that meat warm. And I'll have this one. Oh, it's stuck. It's stuck. About run out that. It's just there. I might as well let the gas burn off and that cylinder's fully empty then. Oh, that's very hot. Anyway. While I'm tucking into my snap, my bacon grill sandwiches, I'll let you enjoy a bit of nature. Well, back again. So, we're about to reach 33 minutes on this film. And at 33 minutes or 4 gig, it's 4 gig, I've noticed it cuts out. So, thank you very much for joining me in nature. My little setup for today. If I can hold this bipod, or tripod, sorry. My little burner. And all the gear I've been using today. So thank you very much for joining me, Simon Outdoors. Outdoors, not indoors today. Oh, my belly's full, my belly's warm, and now hopefully I'm going to enjoy a warm brew. I think that gas has finally run out. Let me spin around here. Let me try and get some better light. There we go. Yep, so I'm going to have a brew, listen to the river myself for a bit, relax, and head home to see my lovely family. Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Take care, my friends. See you soon.